Today we are at the Melbourne International Airport to give you the grand news of the Srilankan Airlines flying 7 days a week, Melbourne, Colombo, Colombo, Melbourne. And to give us an update and information on this is Mr. Lyell Strambi, the Chief Executive Officer of the Melbourne International Airport. Welcome, Mr. Strambi.
Thank you. It's great to be with you and on such an exciting day for us.
It is going to be exciting. The fact that they'll be flying 7 days a week, Mr. Strambis. And what's your take on the whole thing about Sri Lankans coming here and Australians having the opportunity to go back to Sri Lanka?
Oh, look, it's a wonderful opportunity. There are already close ties between Sri Lanka and Australia, and of course this service now will mean that passengers have the convenience of flying directly from Melbourne to Sri Lanka. And it's important because when you remember that I think about 50% of the Sri Lankan population in Australia actually resides in Melbourne, to have a direct service out of Melbourne, not having to go over Sydney or via Singapore, as the case has been for a lot of people, is terrific.
And the fact that looking at the elderly, where they don't have to stop over. I've been looking at, say, the grandmas and grandpas who want to come back from Sri Lanka to here, and grandmas and grandpas who want to go back to Sri Lanka. There's a direct flight. There's no inconvenience of getting off at the airports.
No, that's exactly right. Direct service is always the desired thing from a customer's perspective. And actually it's good for the airlines too, because it's much more economical to fly directly between the two cities.
And the business ties. The Sri Lankan president was here just about a week ago, and they were looking at developing business ties between Sri Lanka and Australia. And the fact that being the community is 50% of the Sri Lankan community being here, it's going to be much more time-wise, economical, time-wise. And would you see a direct impact on the traffic because of that?
Oh, look, I think the opportunity is really big, not just the business ties, as you say, because they're strong already, but even educational ties. Actually, today I believe something like 70% of the Sri Lankans studying in Australia are in Melbourne, so those ties are strong already. And then when you look at Melbourne as a destination for Sri Lankans, it's a great destination. We know that Victoria is a wonderful, wonderful state with a lot to offer. And I was saying earlier, my wife has only just come back from Sri Lanka and is raving about the country, and we've got that firmly on our family plans as well, because it's a wonderful destination. And so it's not just the business ties, but the tourism ties as well. And of course, Sri Lanka and this service, it will be a fantastic entry point into southern India as well, because that's a very inconvenient place to get to today. So being able to fly directly to Colombo and then on one of Sri Lankan Airlines' many connections into India will be a terrific service for the customers, and I think opens up a lot of different business opportunities.
As well as a sporting opportunity. I'm from a cricket background, and the Ashes series coming on very soon. So it's ideal time for the sporting opportunity as well.
Yes, the two countries are both cricket mad, as we well know. I'm just not sure which country I'd actually punt for at the moment, although, of course, I have to in my heart say let's hope Australia does well and performs very well on a world stage. But cricket's a great binding sport, and it's a wonderful tie that we have between the two countries. And so, again, it just makes all of those sort of connections, be it for sporting events, for tourism, for business, education, just that much easier. So it's a great, great opportunity.
Mr. Strambi, as you were saying just before, you've been to Sri Lanka before, and not on a really pleasant one, but something that really benefited Sri Lanka.
Yes, my visit to Colombo was actually post the tsunami in 2004. And at that stage, I was one of the senior executives for Virgin Atlantic, and we took a relief flight into the country straight after the tsunami. And it was a devastating time to be there, but it was wonderful to be able to do something of good, which was, in a very tough time for that region of the world.
Thank you for that. And as well as looking at the future of the Melbourne Airport, there's a lot of development going on. What do you foresee for Melbourne Airport?
Oh, look, it's a really exciting time to be involved at Melbourne Airport and Melbourne generally. Melbourne as a city is going to grow to be Australia's biggest city probably within the decade, which is fantastic. And therefore Melbourne Airport has wonderful growth opportunities in line with that. And we're seeing actually with a change of aircraft type like the ones that the Sri Lankan Airlines are using for this new service, it's opening up a lot of new direct markets to us that previously had to go via somewhere else. And so we're on a tremendous growth path. It's a great challenge for us. It's a good challenge to have because it means we have to keep growing our facility. So we're adding new runways, new aircraft parking stands, new passenger facilities, just about everything we need to grow. But that's a great problem to have, and it's one that we love.
That's fantastic. So, not only the fact that the Sri Lankans are going to get the opportunity to travel 7 days a week up and down from Sri Lanka, there's great development for the Melbourne airport. I want to thank Mr. Lyell Strambi, CEO of the Melbourne International Airport, for giving his time today. Thank you.
It's my great pleasure. Thank you.